So, if you guys remember, it was just a few days ago that in the Q&A, one of the questions was, how do we prevent the mainstream media from basically railroading Justice Democrats and all efforts from the populist left to reform the Democratic Party and make it actually represent the people? And my response to that question was, look, I don't even care if they attempt to railroad us, because in the process of doing that, they're only going to make us stronger. Because they're going to shit on us, and in the process of shitting on us, certainly millennials, but probably most people would realize this smells disingenuous and this looks pathetic. So the more they talk about it, it's like, ooh, look at how naughty and bad these populist left-wingers are, and they keep snubbing the responsible, centrist neoliberals. And that'll only help us, and that'll only make us grow. And so my point was, the real thing we need to fear is indifference. So in other words, if there's just no conversation about us, they don't cover us, they don't talk about us, they pretend we don't exist, that's the real danger, because that's their best tool to try to suppress us. Oh yeah, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything, they don't exist, it doesn't mean anything, doesn't matter. Well, it turns out perhaps I'm a little too honest, because it looks like the establishment has been taking my advice, and they said, whoa, we should shut the fuck up and act like these people don't exist. So there's a few stories that came out within the past week or so that it just is this mentality personified. It's just exactly the thing that I said we need to make sure doesn't happen. And it really is stunning, and it's really got me pissed off on another level. So first, let's go over to the Hill and see what they have to say. Not necessarily about the populist left and Justice Democrats, but about YouTube. Okay, so it says, online right fumes after YouTube ad crackdown. All right, so right there, incredibly misleading and simply wrong. It's not just the right that's like, oh my God, YouTube and their demonetization, it's affecting us, and it's horrible. No. You've seen me scream about it with my hair on fire. You've seen Jimmy Dore do the same thing. You've seen David Pakman do the same thing, because it is drastically affecting us. We don't count, though. We don't count. See what they're trying to do? They're trying to set it up as, no, don't worry. Don't worry about the YouTube thing and the demonetization thing, because, it's really only affecting people who are really genuinely hateful. And, the fucking Nazi channels and white nationalists and whatnot, and Richard Spencer-like people. So don't even worry about that. It's the right complaining about it. That's an attempt to make a normal audience go, oh, okay, it's just whiny fucking right-wingers. But it's not. That's not true. Okay, let's see what they have to say. YouTube is in hot water with conservative users and creators, with the Google-owned video giant accused of discriminating against the right as YouTube takes ads off content that it says violates the terms of service. Last month, YouTube quietly made moves to remove advertisements on certain types of content that it says is not consistent with its terms of service. YouTube doesn't serve ads on demonetized videos, meaning big hits to the bottom line for conservative YouTube personalities. YouTube says that its efforts are aimed at cracking down on hate speech, but conservative and right-wing video creators say they're frustrated by the changes. Every part of that is incorrect so far. It's not just conservatives, it is 100% independent voices and populist left voices. I've told you guys 1,000 times, it crushed us. There was a week where we made nothing. And then after that week, it's not like adpocalypse stopped. We still have a permanent 60% cut to our revenue, and the ads that we do get are in like a second-tier, lower-level ad. It's a shittier kind of ad that doesn't pay nearly as well, and it's absolutely affecting me, and it's affecting Jimmy Dore and Humanist Report and David Pakman, and you go down the list of the left-wing channels, it's 100% affecting them, because YouTube's algorithm is so fucking stupid that it doesn't differentiate, hey, this person, like when I was speaking about the mass shooting in Vegas, and, you know, I came out really against it. I don't like the murder of 59 people and the injuring of over 500. And I called for reasonable solutions to try to fix it. Nope, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you talk about that and you say this is a horrendous thing. That counts as hate speech. So the fact that you're discussing it, demonetized. Okay, well, that's weird. Then why isn't, you know, the nightly news on NBC and ABC and CBS, why aren't they demonetized? They spoke about that same thing. And they didn't even come up with constructive solutions. They just spoke about it. Hey, this is what happened. So what the fuck is that about? I point out, this is such a great example of how fucked up this system is. I covered a Human Rights Watch report that said the U.S. killed civilians in Syria. Okay, it gave the number of civilians, many children were included in it. So I covered a Human Rights Watch report and said, hey, this is what's actually happening with your money in your name. This is what your government is doing. Wouldn't it be great to stop this and not kill civilians? Demonetize. Demonetize. So agreeing with a human rights group is worthy of demonetization. According to YouTube's dumbass algorithm, it is. So they don't distinguish, they don't differentiate between, you know, being a neo-Nazi and calling out neo-Nazis and saying, hey, that's bad and that's wrong. So it really is an attempt to defund news and politics. And the broader picture here is TV used to get all the ad money. YouTube has become so massively popular that YouTube was starting to eclipse TV. Then look at that. News and politics on YouTube, defunded. They leapfrog us and give money to YouTube TV, which is the same fucking old media outlets that you could have watched on regular TV that are now on YouTube. And wow, they ended up with the money again. It's almost like they're trying to crush independent content creators, and it has nothing to do with their political affiliation, if they're right-wing, left-wing, or whatever. So this is simply an incorrect, factually inaccurate ad from the Hill. And it is, what is it? Erasing left-wing voices. You're going to notice a theme here. Now let's go to the next one. So Right Wing Watch came out with what they're considering like an investigative report here. It's beyond me why they'd call it that, but it says white supremacy figured out how to become YouTube famous. Okay, so right off the bat, you could say, yeah, there are some people who are, you know, maybe hardcore white nationalists who have a voice now that they didn't have previously. But look, that's what you're going to get with a free and open platform. You're going to get good ideas that spread, and you're going to get shitty ideas that spread. You're going to get good news that spreads, and you're going to get fucking Alex Jones InfoWars garbage that spreads. That's just par for the course. So that's not totally inaccurate, the point that, okay, maybe some white supremacists or white nationalists have blown up on YouTube. Of course that happened, but there are also a lot of good voices to counter that have risen up as well. There's no mention of those voices, but I'm not at the point yet where I'm pissed off with this. Now let's start reading the piece. YouTube is home to a seemingly endless variety of videos that reach all kinds of viewers and is creeping up on TV as the most watched video platform in the United States. But as John Herman documented in the New York Times Magazine last month, political punditry on YouTube is vastly dominated by right-wing talkers. Some of the site's most notable right-wing political stars include the always camera-ready men and women at the InfoWars studio, frequently shirtless 4chan muse, I don't even know how to say that, I'm not even going to try, and by the way, I never fucking heard of him, an elaborate cosplay cartoon character, Mr. Dapperton. Although these figures differ vastly in format and tone, their messages are aligned exclusively towards the hard, uncompromising right, and have been increasingly influenced by their even more extremist counterparts on YouTube. So, they're saying the right is, quote, dominating YouTube. Where's the data for that? Notice they give no numbers, they give no facts, they give no information. They just say it. That the right's dominating YouTube. Right, dominating YouTube. Everybody you mentioned, of every right-wing outlet you mentioned, and they mentioned the biggest one there, InfoWars. TYT alone beats them all. Now, you could agree or disagree with you, it doesn't matter. But they absolutely obliterate everybody there. I obliterate most of the people on that list. So, two progressive channels crush all the right-wingers you just named, but you're doing a piece about how the right, quote, dominates YouTube. I think TYT has something to say about that. I think I have something to say about that. I think Jimmy Dore has something to say about that. I think Humanist Report has something to say about that. I think Tim Black has something to say about that. I think David Pakman has something to say about that. That is complete and utter nonsense. But I haven't even gotten to the worst one yet. Okay? So that stuff got me super pissed off because, hey, I'm a left-wing political commentator. I do news and politics. We've been affected horrendously by this ad crackdown, the demonetization, adpocalypse. Erased us, act like we don't count, and make otherwise normal people go, yeah, I guess it's not that big a deal because it's apparently only right-wing voices who are affected because that's what, that's what these articles say. You ready for the biggest erasure of them all? Take a look at this. Bernie backers give Dem incumbents a pass in 2018. What? The Sanders-Clinton schism isn't plaguing the party in Senate races so far. Instead, it's Republicans still facing intra-party heat. There it is. There it is. That is fucking unbelievable. Just as Democrats, we're running 16 candidates so far. 16. Paula Swearingen, who's running against Joe Manchin, had one of the biggest Reddit, Ask Me Anythings ever. We're running 16 candidates. We're gaining in popularity. From the grassroots, you guys, we've raised millions of dollars. No corporate money, no PAC money, just from you. Millions of dollars. We're aligned with Our Revolution, People for Bernie, Democratic Socialists, Fight for 15. You go down the list of populist left activists, Brand New Congress, National Nurses United. There is unity on the populist left, fighting for all of the ideas that we know are the right policies that the American people already agree with. Medicare for all, free college, ending the wars, New Deal, money out of politics, end the drug war. We're fighting for these things day in, day out. You're fighting for these things day in, day out. You're the reason that Congress went from, 70 people backing Medicare for all to 118? You're the reason for that. You're the reason. You're the reason now Democratic senators are coming out for Medicare for all. And what are they saying? There's no Democratic Civil War. Bernie backers aren't primarying Hillary people. Not only are we doing it, I literally have no idea how we could have done more. We've done everything. From the day the 2016 election was over till today, you have done everything in your power to fight back against neoliberal, corporatist centrists who are Republican light, who agree with the Republicans on deregulation and tax cuts for the rich and endless wars and so-called free trade deals that outsource good American manufacturing jobs. You've done everything in your power to fight back against these people. You are primarying these people, and you're doing it to try to save the country and get the right policies implemented. And what the fuck does Politico say? Bernie backers give Dem incumbents a pass in 2018. The Sanders-Clinton schism isn't plaguing the party in Senate races so far. Instead, it's Republicans still facing intra-party heat. We're primarying senators. We're primarying congressmen. There are people who are running at the state and local level. There's a Bernie-backed candidate just won a mayor's race the other day. They're erasing you. They are erasing left-wing voices. In the same way, the establishment just magically erased myself, David Pakman, TYT, Tim Black, Humanist Report. You go down the list, Jimmy Dore, left-wing political commentators on YouTube. In the same way, they just said, you don't exist. You don't exist. You weren't massively hurt by the YouTube demonetization. You don't exist. You don't count for whatever reason. Here's my bullshit rationalizations. You don't mean anything, even though your numbers are even stronger than the ones on the right. The right is dominating YouTube. In the same way they fucking erased us from existence with their shitty articles, that's the same way they just erased you and all the hard work you've done to try to get this country back on the right track. We can't let this stand. I'm more motivated now than I've ever been before. This reinvigorates me. Because I want to make it so that they're denying us as we are metaphorically digging their political graves. You want to keep denying? Fine, keep denying me. Keep denying us when we're fucking #1 on YouTube in news and politics. TYT is #1 for news and politics on YouTube. Denied. They don't exist. The right dominates YouTube. They dominate them. I want Justice Democrats. I want us to win every single race we're in so we can fucking rub it in their face and go, say it again. What happened? What happened? Oh, Bernie backers gave Hillary Clinton's people a pass by fucking routing them and defeating every single one of them and fighting and winning on Medicare for all and free college and a living wage. What happened? Oh, we gave them a pass by absolutely owning them and destroying them and fixing fucking America. Yeah, we gave them a pass. That's what it is. We're giving Dem incumbents a pass by primarying the shit out of them and scaring the pants off of them. But this is their strategy. Don't cover them. See no evil, hear no evil. Pretend they don't exist. And then maybe it'll go away. You done fucked up because you pissed us off more now. You pissed us off more now. Guys, support left-wing causes, groups, candidates you agree with. Because you're our only hope is if we all get together and we all fight for these things, because the establishment will never recognize you, will never recognize us, will never give us our due. Apparently our much larger YouTube show than other right-wing YouTube shows doesn't count for a variety of reasons. I don't know, he's not sexy enough. He doesn't call for fucking ethnic cleansing and purging the country of all immigrants. He just talks about healthcare all day. Not sexy enough, doesn't count. Doesn't count. Look at Bernie Sanders supporters who are fighting. They don't count. They don't count. They're only pushing for immensely popular policies, and they're trying to fix the Democratic Party and fix the country. They don't count for a variety of reasons. So make them eat their own words and their own shitty articles, okay? Make them do it. JusticeDemocrats.com/fight. JusticeDemocrats.com/fight. If they're not going to cover us and they're not going to get the word out to people who would support us if they knew we existed, then we have to do it. JusticeDemocrats.com/fight. Make your donation today. Let's make them eat their words. Let's win every fucking race we're in so we can come back and laugh about this article. Bernie backers give Dem incumbents a pass by beating all of them. Wouldn't that be a great addition to that title? Let's make it happen.